Hello there everyone, and welcome to the Minecraft Disasters Redstone video. Now, here is the redstone that I used for the Minecraft Disasters, and over there was that was the one that didn't work, and we actually made it work, but then we realized, it's not really a good disaster, and I'll explain that when I get there. But this is all the redstone that you need, and I'll explain it all. Now, the first thing that you should do is build a 21 by 12 area. This area is going to be the area that all your redstone is on. Now you don't really need that much space, that's just what I used. This is actually 22 by 12, it's just that for some reason I did this and I don't know why. So really you can get away with 21 by 12. But if you want to make it bigger, that's fine. Just make it so people cannot mess with the redstone. Now from here what you want to do is make a ticking area. Now you may say, why do I want a ticking area? A ticking area, what it does is it always renders in the chunks that's within the ticking area. So that means that if you were to go out of render distance of this thing, it would still go. But if you didn't have the ticking area, the redstone would actually stop and no more disasters would happen. So in order to do a ticking area, you open up your chat, /ticking, and then just paste it in, /ticking area, add. And then what you want to do is circle, just so it's kind of simple. Do your current position, so do these 3 little squiggles. And then you put in the radius. Now I'm going to put a radius as 3. It can only have 100 chunks in a ticking area. So having 3 chunks should incorporate the whole entire platform. And then just name it so, whatever. Or, better yet, that's a pretty cool word right there. Now from here, what you want to do is get a barrel, a hopper, a dropper, some random block, and a command block. And basically we are going to be copying that thing over there. So you need to figure out which direction you want your barrel to face. I'm going to have this one faced. This one faced straight up. This is so I know which direction it is, because you have to face them all in the same direction or else it's not going to count. So put the barrel straight up, and just place a hopper on top of it. Then what I would do is place a block on it, and then make a little ring around it. This is just so the blocks that you'll end up shooting into the hopper will not go out. And break that block, make sure, and then put the dropper there. This is so when the dropper shoots out a block, it will go into the hopper. Speaking of me just kind of spoiling it, then what you need to do is put in some random items. Since it's a dropper, it really doesn't matter what. And then keep one of them out, because that'll decide which disaster will happen. And also from here, place a bedrock, or whatever block you're using, place another one, and then put a command block there. So the reason that this is like this is because when we make that system, a redstone block will appear here, and it will shoot one of these out, and then it will activate this command block also. So the point of this command block is to warn you when a disaster is happening. This also can help with debugging, so basically whenever you hear the bell, then that means a disaster is coming. So what you need to do is play sound, block, period, bell, period, hit, and then put an @ symbol and A. So basically what this does is it plays sounds, then it does the block sound of the bell, and then it goes to all players. And whenever it's activated, you'll hear a bell noise. Now what you want to do from here is figure out what the coordinates of this barrel is. Now to do that, or at least the simplest way, is just type in set block, and then put your crosshair on the barrel. Make sure you're really close to it too. So if you do that, it will actually tell you what that block is. So for me it is 242, 150, and then 41, and then go back and just delete it. This is so now I know that I need to type in 242, 150, 41. Now from here, what you want to do is start making the disasters. So place the command block just next to it, and what you then want to do is do test for blocks. And then from there, you'll need to put a swiggle, swiggle 1, swiggle, swiggle, swiggle 1, and then a final swiggle. So there should be 4 swiggles and 2 swiggles with a 1 in this order. And then from there, what you need to do is type in that number that we just found. So mine was 242, 150, 41. Yours will be different. So like I said, the set block thing, whatever your numbers are, just type them in here. So 242, at least for me. Then 150. And then 41. What you then want to do is do repeat and always active. Now right now it should say source and destination are not identical, but once you put the barrel on top of it, then it says 1 block compared, and that means that it is working. If it doesn't say that, then make sure that the numbers match up with this block, and if you really have trouble doing it, you can break it and just stand there and it will just tell you what it is. Now from here, what you want to do is basically make 9 of these. Now, in order to save you time, what I would do is just do /clone and make sure you are looking at the bottom block /clone, and then whatever the numbers tell you, so 246, 150, and then 41, at least for me that's what it is, and then look at the top block and type in whatever your number is. So for me it's 246, 151, 41. Now you might need to write it down because I doubt most people can remember 6 random numbers like that. And so what you then need to do is go 2 blocks over and then do the swiggle, 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 and then press enter, and that'll clone it. And all you have to do is go 2 over and then just keep doing it until you have all 9 of them. Also, I don't know how much I said this, but make sure it's on repeat and always active. If it's not on those, then it will not work. So it has to be on repeat and always active. So from here, quite simple compared to what we just did, is just put 1 item in each of these. Just a random item in all of them. This is so the little barrel can detect which one is which. And so, from here, you should have a different item in each of the barrel. Now, the command block should also now say sources and destination are not identical again, because these sources are not identical. This command block is just comparing those, and then when they're the same, that's when the redstone will go. So from here, you need to place a comparator on all of them, just like over here. And then you'll need a repeater. This is because it's only like sending out half a tick, which, to put in perspective, that's like only 1 redstone dust long. So you just have to use the repeater to repeat it. And so from here, we are actually getting into the disasters part, making each disaster. Now this first one is called the flood. The flood basically just makes an area around you fill up with water. So if you're in a cave, you might drown because of it, or in the nether, it's actually helpful because there's no water in the nether. So from here, what you want to do is repeat, and do not do always active. If you do always active, that means it's going to always just be floating water on you. So from here, you want to do execute at everyone, so at A, and then the current location, which is those swiggles. I also recommend that you press this little plus button so you can see it in this mode. Then after that, you do fill, and then you need to type in 4, or swiggle 4, swiggle 4, swiggle 4, then swiggle -4, swiggle -4, and swiggle -4. And then from there, what you want to do is water 0, and then replace air. This is so the water only replaces the air around you, rather than replacing every single block. And that should be all that you need for the flood. Now once the flood has started, you have to stop it. So place a redstone on top, and then a redstone next to it. This will lead to this command block. Now what this command block is a clone command block to reset the barrel. So clone, then swiggle, swiggle 1, swiggle, and then you need to do it again, swiggle, swiggle 1, swiggle. And then you have to put in the coordinates of the barrel again. So just look back at your command block and be like, oh, it's 242, 150, 41. At least that's what it is for me. And so I will type in my number. I need to check real quick. And then what will happen is once the flood happens, this command block will then replace this, so those two command blocks are not the same. Now, in order for the flood to actually happen, you have to set a delay. Now, I would do 60 ticks. So basically what a tick is that is 1/20th of a second, which basically means you need 20 ticks for a second. So this is 3 seconds because it's 60 ticks. And then from here, what you need to do is simply just place an empty barrel on top of it. This is so it will just replace it. Now, if I look that this is a scoot, then that means if I was to put a scoot in here, or a scoot was to get launched out of here, then what it will do is detect the scoot, be like, hey, there's a scoot in there, send a redstone signal, start flooding you, and then after 3 seconds, this will reset it so there's no more scoot in there. And that's what this redstone system is. Now, if you remember what we did with the cloning thing, this right here is the same throughout here. So this is the same as that, that's the same as that, whoops, as that. So basically this orange thing with a barrel, they're all the same. So what you can start doing is copying and pasting these across the line. If you don't remember how to do that, all you have to do is look at the bottom command block, do /clone, and then it will tell you what the numbers are at the bottom left. 246, 150, at least these are the numbers for me. You'll need to type in different ones. And then once you have the first 3, just press enter, it will say error. Look at the top one, type in that number also, and then from there, move over to blocks over, look at the ground, doesn't matter, and then type in 3 squiggles and press enter, and it will put it there. Now, if you look after that one, some of them takes 2 command blocks, so you'll need 2 of them that are actually like jutting out a little bit. So instead, you'd have to go 2 blocks over, and then 1 away from the redstone, which just launched me off. And so you only have to do that twice, luckily, because there's only 2 of those, and then you can go back to normal. So for the rest of this video, it's mostly going to be me just telling you how to do each disaster, so filling in these little gaps, and then making the clock system that actually makes it all work. So this next one is actually kind of simple. All you have to do is execute on every player, so at A, then at their current location. You want to then summon TNT, and then I can't remember how high I did it, so I'm going to check real quick. I did 25 blocks high. And what you want to do then is a swiggle 25, that means it's going to do it 25 blocks above you. Swiggle. Now, this is important. Do not do always active. You need it as needs redstone. Don't do always active. And then do repeat. So basically what this will do is it will send a redstone signal, and it will be like, oh, TNT spawning, spawning, spawning. And then what you need to do from there, place redstone on top of it, and in this command block, put like the delays and ticks. Now, right now it's 60 ticks. I think I changed it to 50 because 60 ticks made the game lag a little bit too much. So I'm going to change it to 50. This is basically 2.5 seconds of TNT just rapidly spawning on you. You can move it up and down, so if you want less TNT, just make the number smaller. If you want more TNT, make this number bigger. But I don't recommend that, because you'll probably die. Now, the earthquake is one of those that takes up 2 command blocks. Now, this one abuses the camera shake thing. So repeat, do not do always active. Never do always active on these. The only one that should have always actives are these command blocks. And basically, you'll need to type in camera shake add at a 120. And then, I'll show the difference in just a second. So, camera, I spelled camera wrong. Camera shake. And then because, like I said, I don't use this command very often, I need to look at it. Add at a, then I think it's 120. And then do positional or rotational. I'm going to do rotational first, just because That one's kind of funny. And then what you need to do is do the exact same thing over here, but positional. So camera, shake, add at a 120 positional. So now what will happen is once you put the redstone on it, basically it will just kind of shake your screen a lot and rotate your character around, so you'll basically be like this, having an earthquake. It's not going to be one of those that are super dangerous. And so what I recommend is put this as 20, because this is 20 seconds of your screen shaking, and I know it's kind of nauseous for some people. So if you need to turn it down, just change that 20 to a lower number, or if you want to be just shaking around a lot, make it bigger. Now next up is the one that was probably the most deadly, and that was the fire pit. Now the reason the fire pit was so deadly is because unlike the water one, it broke every block around you. So what you want to do is execute at their current position. Whoops. Here we go. And then what you need to do is fill, and then I did it 10, 3 up, and then 10. This is so things above you catch on fire also. And then from there, you need to do negative 10. And I only did -2, so the ground didn't completely just evaporate under you. -10. And then from there, put fire. Now, if you don't want a pit and instead you want an actual forest fire, you put 0, replace air. Now, of course, you can't see it. I'll show you in just a second. Press that plus button. This is the command for if you want a forest fire. If you want a fire pit, just delete that. So I'm going to keep it as the fire pit because I think that's funnier. Then repeat, do not do always active, always have it as needs redstone. And then from there, just connect the redstone. Let me go really quickly check how long it is. For 20, only for 20, it felt like much longer. So then put it for 20, which is actually just 1 second of just fire just spawning around you. Next up is a very, very simple one. This is the levitation one. Now if you watch the videos, you saw that the levitation one happened a lot. It was actually one of the easier ones to deal with. So what you want to do is effect, and let me actually just real quickly check what the exact redstone is so I don't mess up. At a, and what you want to do is spell levitation. It's one of those words that I always misspell, so levitation right there. And then you have to decide how much you want it to be. Now I think I did it for 12 seconds at levitation 2. Levitation 1 is just a little slow, so I did levitation 2, so it has a small chance of being dangerous. And that is all you need. And so, just redstone, and then change this to 1 second. Now this next one, a lot of you are going to enjoy. So, this one is the golden apple one. So in order to do the golden apple one, you have to do give at a golden underscore apple. And then, I don't know if there's anything else with that. Oh yeah, you need to give them 1 golden apple, not 0. And then from there, place another one. And this is just so you know you got a nice one. So let's say the universe decided, hey, they want to be nice to you. So at the top left, you need to do universe. Now I actually spelt it wrong for a second. Universe. And then from there, you just do say, have a treat. Doesn't really matter what you say. I mean, you can do like whatever you feel like. So if you want it to just do a ooh woo face, you can do that. And then from there, just connect the redstone and put it to 20 ticks, aka 1 second. There are 3 left, and so I'm going to do the more simple one first. So this one is the lightning strike. Now for the lightning strike, I had it strike everything. The reason I had it strike everything is so supercharged creepers would happen and villagers would turn into witches. So execute at E this time. If If you do at E, that will do at everything rather than at everyone. And then do the squiggles, summon, and then instead of TNT, it's going to be lightning underscore bolt, and then you just need to do it on top of everyone. This one actually in part 2 just kept happening over and over again, and I don't know why we kept getting struck by lightning. So then connect it, and you only want it to be 1 second. Now, 20 ticks, sorry. Luckily this is not a repeating one, because if it was repeating, it would actually kill you instantly no matter what, and that's not cool, so like the other one, you have to have it be impulse, so it doesn't just insta-kill you. Next up is the thing that we called Existential Darkness, or the depression box. So what you need to do is execute. You'll know that there's a lot of executes at A, not at E. And then what you need to do is their current location, fill, and then so for our box it was a 5 by 5 I think, so or 10 by 10. So it's actually like this. So swiggle 5, swiggle 5, swiggle 5, and swiggle negative 5, swiggle negative 5, swiggle negative 5. Then from here you need to do concrete. So concrete. And then 15, so it's the color black. Now if you do another number, it just won't be black. So if you want it to be black, do 15. If you want it to be another color, you'll have to find which number you want. And I almost forgot to mention, make sure you put the redstone and set it to 1 second. Now the final one is not my favorite one, it's that one, the lava flow, the really laggy one. I don't know if I showed you guys before, but if you go over here, it's still falling, and it's laggy. Now of course this is way higher than what it would be. Also it's out of render distance, so that's why it's just kind of staying still. And so I need to kind of change the numbers on that one, because it was so big that it would just crash the game. And that wasn't very fun. So instead, we're going to make it so it actually works. So I'm going to do execute at A at their current position. And then what you need to do from there is fill. And then we need to make it smaller. So I'm going to do it, let's say 20. And then I'm only going to put it 10 blocks above them. So that means that if you're not paying attention, you could just be destroyed by lava. Now this one is actually supposed to just make you move, so you probably aren't going to die by this one, but it's going to be really annoying. And so 20, or swiggle 20, swiggle 10, swiggle 20, swiggle negative 20. Then you actually need to do swiggle 10 again, so it's at the same height, and swiggle negative 20. And then lava, and then since it doesn't really matter, it's going to replace everything. So it doesn't matter if it's air, it's going to replace everything. And so if you want to know what that looks like, it's going to be that top layer but smaller. And it's also going to be a lot closer to you. So it's instead of like it being all the way up there, it's going to be like at the top of that tree. So you have like 30 seconds to get away and get all your items out of there, or else you are going to lose them all. Then connect it, and you should probably put it as delay 20. So from here, you actually need to start the thing. Now that you have all the disasters set up, you'll need to place 2 command blocks, and then what I recommend, putting some redstone on top of them so you can activate them manually without it just immediately starting. So in order to do that, there you go. Now from here, what you need to do is set block, and then you have to figure out a number. So that number is this one right here. So just sit here, look at the top left at your coordinates, and remember that number. So for me, it's 244, 153, and then 41. Sorry about that, my mic was having issues for a second. And then so from here, put redstone underscore block. Now, before we do anything, put on repeating, but make sure it's on needs redstone. Just make sure you don't want to accidentally start spamming disasters on you. And so from here, you actually need to go down to delays and ticks, and you need to figure out how long you want it to be. Now in order to figure out how long you want it to be, you need to figure out how many minutes you want it to be, and then multiply that by 120. So for example, 4 minutes times 120 is, where is it? 4,800. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to put it as 6,000. So what 6,000 is 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, a redstone block will be placed here, and a disaster will go off. Now in order to make sure that there's more than one disaster, you need to do set block. The same coordinates as this command block, make sure not to start it. And I'm going to place my numbers. Your numbers will be different. And then you need to do error. Now, to make sure that it actually does delete it, what you need to do is just do a multiple of whatever you're doing. Not really important. I'm just going to do 600. So basically what that will do is it will just make sure that it's gone multiple times. And so from there, put it on repeat, but do not do always active, just do needs redstone. So if you are having trouble with how many ticks, or what the number here should be, just look at your first one and just 0. That's what I've been doing. It just makes sure that this gets disappeared. And once you do that, you're actually done. And you can click the lever, and then what will happen is after minutes, at least for mine, a redstone block will pop up here. Then it will do a bell noise, an item will shoot out. Whichever item shoots out will activate one of these. The redstone will go through, do the disaster, and then this thing will reset this box. And this command block will reset this thing. And then once 5 minutes passes, this command block will place another block here, and the cycle will happen again. So thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, consider liking and subscribing. I'm planning on doing more of this redstone type of video in the future, do more challenges, make my own redstone. I'm working on other redstone stuff, but they're not finished right now, so I can't really show them off. If you enjoyed, like I said, like and subscribe. If you try this out, hey, tell me how it goes. I know there's going to be a lot of questions in the comments about, oh, why is this not working, why is this not working. I'll try and answer them. I try to keep up with my comments. And so, like I said, thank you for watching. Go check out our other videos. We've been doing a lot more Minecraft recently. And I will see you guys in the next Minecraft video. We're streaming recently, so check out the stream. See you guys later. Goodbye.